If current form is anything to go by, there won't be much between these teams, and with the extra incentive of a place in Europe next season at stake, we could be in for a classic 101st Welsh Cup Final. Cardiff City have been a model of consistency this season. 7 consecutive wins at the end made sure their efforts were rewarded. Jimmy Gilligan's 25 goals helped. Their team tonight is the one that played last at Burnley when Alan Curtis made his 500th league appearance. There are a lot of very experienced players in that lineup. Wrexham won 10 of their last 12 games. Unfortunately, they couldn't match City's long-term consistency, so they ended up 11th in the 4th division. Still, no Ollie Kearns, so Steve Buxton regains his place up front with Wrexham's own 25-goal man, Kevin Russell. And watch out for one of the crucial battles, Gilligan against Joey Jones, whose only Welsh Cup medal was won 13 years ago. The referee is Roger Gifford. Wrexham in the white shorts defend the goal to our right. Remarkable, really, that these teams have only one Welsh Cup success between them over the past 10 years. That was Wrexham in 1986. Cardiff haven't won it since 1976, but it's Cardiff going forward. Mike Williams gets the ball clear for Wrexham. Headed away by Jeff Hunter. Kelly, nicely played to Bater. Throw to Cardiff. Phil Bater played in a cup final for Wrexham once and lost. Now a Cardiff City player, his hometown club, of course. First free kick of the game. Mike Ford. Bater. Alan Curtis. Not a bad one towards Gilligan, and headed away by Joey Jones, the first corner. An early indication of how dangerous Jimmy Gilligan can be. The ball came in from Phil Bater. It was cleared only as far as Alan Curtis, and Joey Jones had to be at his best to save that one. Lattner. Good clearance by Ford. Kevin Bartlett's fast. Joey Jones is coming across. Gilligan and Curtis making their way into the middle. Dermot's got a chance to cross. It takes on Salathiel. And that's another corner. So the early pressure coming from Cardiff. Ryan McDermott, his third corner in less than 7 minutes at the start. Short this one to Curtis. McDermott with a space, Flynn cuts it out. Flicked off Flynn's head, Gilligan, Salmon didn't gather it. And it was cleared by Mike Williams. Under pressure from Nigel Stevenson, and there's a little bit of a fracas in the penalty area. That is the second time in the opening 7 minutes that Stevenson has been involved. He's obviously psyched up for this game. And a couple of times he's let his enthusiasm run a little too far. Joey Jones, not a good one for Russell. Boyle clears. And now Russell does have a chance. Mike Carter, a little slip of a chance. Not a bad effort with the left foot from Mike Carter. His first Welsh Cup final. Scored 7 goals this season. Kevin Russell won the ball back after Boyle's clearance hadn't worked. And Carter just bobbled a little bit. Hit it with the outside of his left foot. Joey Jones shouts mine, and when he does that, he's usually right. Curtis. Oh, he sold a beautiful dummy to Carter then. There's space for Bater on the right. He's cut out a bit now. Curtis still in possession, weaving his magic. Good shot! And what a goal! A goal to grace a Welsh Cup final from a man who's graced many great occasions in the past, Alan Curtis. That's 3 goals in the last 6 games for Alan Curtis. He doesn't score many. But I tell you what, if they're like that one, they're worth waiting for. There wasn't really much to say about this goal except Alan Curtis over and over again. Quite a magnificent dummy that sold Mike Carter. He saw that Beta wasn't in an advantageous position, decided to do it himself, and with his left foot as well. Nothing Salmon could do. 1-0 to Cardiff, with 14 minutes gone. Look at the control. Absolutely magic. Nothing that Jeff Hunter could do, nothing that anybody could do, especially Mike Salmon. And with just under a quarter of an hour gone, that will give Wrexham plenty to think about. Nasty late tackle there by Mike Ford. And I think we could see a yellow card for that. Roger Gifford takes the name of Mike Ford. And Wrexham win the free kick. Joey Jones will have to exhort his troops now, and there's a chance. Oh, dear me, Roger Preece had a chance to get it back straight away then. Roger Preece has scored in the Welsh Cup this season against Tom Pentra in the 5th round. And that could have been a shot for Cardiff just after they'd scored their goal. It's flicked on from Jones's free kick, and the angle just too narrow for Preece. Missed by quite a margin in the end, hit the back of the stanchion. Kevin Russell. And a tussle with Plattner. Plattner the winner. But Wrexham get the throw. Mickey Plattner, one of the Cardiff Supporters Club's Player of the Year. Neil Salathiel. It's towards Kevin Russell. Hasn't really had a chance to show his ability yet. But it's still there, still battling for it. It might fall for Mike Williams, it might fall for Carter, and it was cleared eventually. But a little bit of chaos, and it was the man who scored the goal at the other end who saved Cardiff that time, Alan Curtis. McDermott towards Bartlett. Williams. Terry Boyle towards Gilligan. Bartlett's making a good run. He's got himself clear. The first touch wasn't a good one. Hasn't got the room now, but he's got Gilligan in support and Mike Ford. Two big men, but he's been closed down well by Mike Williams. McDermott now. Not a good clearance by Wright, but Flynn's is good enough. Brian Flynn having to work overtime in midfield for Wrexham. Boxes round Flynn, gets it across Bartlett, Gilligan. Oh, didn't look as though Gilligan would get there first with Mike Williams that time, but he did. And that's the sign of a danger man. 25 goals this season. Was only about 4 feet away from being 26 there. Curtis again, the man holding it up, getting it across, and it got to Gilligan, and although it looked as though Williams would get there first, it was Gilligan who did. There was a foul there by Nigel Stevenson on Kevin Russell. Cardiff fans in the stand leaping from their feet in dismay at the decision of Roger Gifford that time. Taken quickly to Flynn. Not a good clearance that by Stevenson. Buxton back to goal. Bill Beta and Mark Kelly get it clear for Cardiff. Only Bartlett was there up front, and that could be a problem for Steve Buxton. A very late tackle indeed on Mark Kelly. And the Wrexham number 9, who was sent off in the semi-final, gets his name in the referee's notebook, and I think you'll agree, deservedly so. Stevenson's kick only finds Mike Williams, but Brian McDermott, Wrexham not getting it away well from the edge of the penalty area. Cardiff picking up most things, really buzzing in midfield and going forward. McDermott and Kelly, two of the men doing just that. Hasn't got many options this time. He's got Platner. Good turn by Platner. Priest is still with him, but it's Platner who wins the corner. Cardiff's fifth. Mickey Platner looking really sharp, as are all the Cardiff players tonight. They've won 5 corners to Wrexham's none so far. And as the previous 4 were, this one will be taken by Brian McDermott. Kevin Bartlett, Jimmy Gilligan! It's as simple as that, 2-0 to Cardiff. Coming up to the 35-minute mark, and that really was a question of slicing open the opponent's defence. Jimmy Gilligan's 26th goal of the season. It really couldn't have been simpler. Bartlett, Gilligan, goal. Came across from McDermott, just the touch from Bartlett, and Gilligan really would have been a miracle if he'd missed that one. Russell again, this time taking the return from Priest. Not a good ball, so Buxton short there. Tremendous noise from the Cardiff fans, but it's Wrexham going forward. Priest gets it across, Russell gets the header in, Curtis clears, that's Wrexham's first corner. He's in the thick of the action at both ends, this man, scored Cardiff's first goal. So, some 37 minutes played, and Wrexham already 2 down before they won their first corner. Kevin Russell's taking it. Mike Williams got the header in. George Wood lost it. Steve Buxton was there, but Wood gathered at the second attempt. So what can Wrexham do? We'll rejoin the game a little way into the second half. Kevin Russell. Salathiel gets it across towards Jeff Hunter. And a worthwhile chance that was for Wrexham. Jeff Hunter almost adding to his 4-goal tally this season. Russell, Salathiel's first time cross. And Hunter did well in the air, but couldn't keep it down. Control, cross by Salathiel. And the pressure just enough for Mike forward. McDermott, Gilligan towards Bartlett, and Mike Williams holds him back. What is the referee going to do about that? Bartlett was clean through. The referee, it's going to be a yellow one. That was what they call a professional foul. Won't have done Cardiff City's laundry much good, because there was a fair tug on that. And Bartlett was through there. He brushed off the tackle from Ford, from Williams rather, and he yanked him back. And got a booking for his troubles. But Wrexham's tribulations are not over, because Cardiff have a free kick. Gilligan trips, and I think that hit the head of Joey Jones, so it'll be a corner after all. Curtis a bit too quick for everybody, including Jimmy Gilligan. He fell over, but Joey Jones conceded the corner. Cardiff's 5th corner in the second corner in the second half, 7th in total. Bartlett gets the header in, beats Salmon to it. Kevin Bartlett, who's scored 14 goals this season, including one in the Welsh Cup. Nearly made it 15 then. As the corner came over, Salmon was a bit slow. The goal was yawning. Russell and Stevenson. Foul by Stevenson on Russell, so a chance for Wrexham to put a little pressure on this very, very solid, firm Cardiff defence. Neil Salathiel will take it. That's towards the substitute, John Bowden. And he had a chance to make a bit of a name for himself then. But didn't quite connect properly. Good free kick that by Salathiel. Not a bad glancing header. He had a little bit of room, but lacked the direction. Bater. Bartlett, good turn by Bartlett. Good foil by Salmon, but it's still there with Kelly. He's happy with the corner. And the Cardiff celebrations are already beginning. McDermott with the corner. Gilligan. Salmon floundering a bit, if I'm permitted to say that. Ford, that's cut out by Mike Carter. And he finds Kevin Russell. The Cardiff fans in fine voice. And there's nothing Russell can do. Kelly. Nasty foul that by Phil Bater on Jeff Hunter. In the crowd beneath us is Wrexham. Through Darren Wright prepared to take this free kick. Woods there. Brian Flynn hits it across. Wood under pressure again, but that's over the crossbar. Again, Wrexham not quite able to make it tell. Williams got up there well, but then couldn't get the crossover. Ford. Bartlett's got some room to work with now. Goes outside Williams. Gets it in towards Gilligan. Not a good clearance. Alan Curtis, what a great save by Mike Salmon. That was so close to number 3, and a personal tally of 2 for Alan Curtis. But Mike Salmon foiled him. Corner's taken quickly. But the referee holds it up because there's an injury to Mike Williams. And Alan Curtis is buzzing this evening. Bartlett found the space. He was too fast for Mike Williams, who thought better of bringing him down. Gilligan got there, wasn't cleared well. What a good save by Mike Salmon. Bartlett's with the cross. Came out to Curtis. Salmon's reflexes good enough. McDermott with the corner. Stevenson wasn't far away. Nigel Stevenson only scored 1 goal this season. It was a tantalising corner, that was. And it wasn't far away, was it? Mike Ford. Curtis, that's a good one. Gilligan, that would have been a marvellous goal. If only he'd have been able to keep it down. He's been full of goals this season, and he's going to have a go from anywhere. Gilligan and Jones. Flynn. It's towards Buxton. And that sums up Wrexham's night. Steve Massey gets a touch. And a good one too. Could open something up here. Sets himself up. Good save by Wood at the near post. That really was one of the greatest moments of danger Cardiff City have faced this evening. Steve Massey not played a great deal this season, but he made a nice opening for himself there. Beat off a couple of challenges. Made some room for himself. Wood with the kick. Curtis towards Gilligan. Cardiff hungry for goals right to the very end of the season. He's teasing Joey Jones, wins the throw. Cardiff, who've played 11 times in the European Cup Winners' Cup, they made the semi-finals once. But in terms of Europe, it's been a barren few years for them. They haven't won this competition, the Welsh Cup, since 1976. This their first final appearance since '82, and they've made the most of it. They've been in absolutely sparkling form, as they have so often this season. And they're going to add the Welsh Cup trophy to their 4th division promotion campaign. Paul Wheeler. Can he keep it in? Concedes the throw-in. They've really got the better of Wrexham this evening in just about every department as we enter the final minute of normal time. It's been a performance full of vitality, full of energy. And when you look at people like Terry Boyle, Alan Curtis in their lineup, no small measure of skill. They've proved too much for Wrexham. With Wrexham coming forward right to the end. Not such a good second half as was the first, it must be said. And there's an offside as Wheeler trying to go forward to create a third for Cardiff. The Cardiff fans bringing up a cheer thinking it's all over, but there's still a few seconds left as we enter injury time, with Wrexham coming forward, but more in hope than expectation. It's all rather forlorn for them. And referee Roger Gifford blows his whistle, and the Cardiff fans and players celebrate. There's no doubt in terms of Wales and the Football League, this has been Cardiff's season, and now it's their Welsh Cup season as well. They're the league team and the cup team of the season in Wales. Cardiff City have won the 101st Welsh Cup, and in style. They've thoroughly deserved a final score of 2-0 against Wrexham. And that is a sweet moment for Terry Boyle. The first time he's ever held aloft the Welsh Cup, for the 20th time in its history. The name Cardiff City goes on the Welsh Cup trophy to set the seal on a quite superb season for Cardiff City. And there's no question about it, they thoroughly deserve their success this evening. Curtis got the first, a real beauty. Gilligan got the second, and they've thoroughly deserved a Welsh Cup success. From the Vetch Field, good night.